Hello guys, welcome to this session. In this session we are going to talk about operators in Python. Now there are several kinds of operators in Python that we use in our operations. Now we have arithmetic operators. Now they are used to perform common mathematical operations using numerical values. Yes, and then we have assignment operators used to assign values to a variable. Very good. Now, without further ado, let us try to use those operators, and then we'll get to know how we are going to use them in different kinds of instances. Okay, so the first one, we'll talk about arithmetic operators. Now, with arithmetic operators, we have the addition sign, subtraction sign, multiplication sign, the division sign, modulo, exponential, and then we have the floor division. Now let's take them one by one. Now we'll be using our terminal, then we'll open our Python shell in that, so let's move on. Okay, so my Python shell is now open. Now let's talk about the arithmetic operators. Let's consider the addition sign to do a simple mathematical operation. Now I have 3 plus 9. When I press enter, it will automatically add 3 plus 9 for me, because the addition sign here is used to do what? Sum numbers. I can also assign values to the variables, like x is equal to 9 and then y is equal to 3. Then I'll say x plus y. You see, it also gives me what? 12. So that is how the addition arithmetic operator is used. Now you can use the same thing for the subtraction. So you can say 4 plus 5 giving you 9, and then I can assign 5 to a, and then 9 to y. Then I can say y minus a will give me 4, or I can also say 9 minus 5 giving me the same 4. Now moving on to the multiplication sign, I can also do the same thing. 5 multiplying 6, it will give me 30. You see, good. I can also assign variables to that, and then that's how we do it. Now let's check how the modulo, the exponential, and then how the floor division works. Now considering the division, I can see 20 divided by 4 giving me 5.0. You see, it should have given me a whole number, but it gave me what? A float. Now 20 with the floor division 4 will give me what? 5. So in your Python arithmetic operation, if you want a whole number, you can use the floor division, and then if you want a floating point number, you can use the normal division. So that is how these two works. This one will print out a whole number, and this one will print out a floating point number. Now let's say we have 7 divided by 2. Here it gave us 3.5, but when I use the floor division, it will round it and give me the nearest whole number. You see, this one gave me 3, but in a normal case, you see, it should have done what? Approximated to 4.0. You see, good. But the floor division, what it does is that it will round it backwards to the nearest whole number. So this one will actually give me 3 instead of 4.0. And then using the exponential, I can say 3 exponent 2. This one will give me 9, because 3 exponent 2 means the double multiplication of the first figure. So it will give me 9. That is 3 times 3. You see, you can also assign variables to it. So you can say r is equal to 3, and then q is equal to 2. Then I'll say r exponent q, giving me what? 9. So that is how the exponential also works. Now considering the modulo. Now modulo, we only consider the remainder. Good. That is how we consider the modulo. So we can say 5 modulo 2. So modulo is actually the percentage. Good. So 5 modulo 2 will give us 1. Why? Because 2 multiplying 2 is what? 4. And then 4 is nearer to 5. But you can't actually divide 2 by 5 and get an actual number. You see, so we say 2 multiplying 2 will give you 4. Then you deduct 4 from the 5, giving you 1. So 1 being the remainder is the answer. So that is how modulo also works here. So that is how the arithmetic operation in Python works. Hello. Moving on, we are going to talk about assignment operators. Now, as I said, assignment operators are used to assign values to variables. Good. Now, let's consider the first one. That's the equal to sign. This one. Good. Now, what the equal to sign does is that it is used to assign a value to a variable. So let's say we have x is equal to 5. We have assigned 5 to the variable x. So you are practically telling the computer that whenever it sees x, it should say it is what? 5. That is how the assignment operator for the equal sign works. And then we have the addition incremental or the incremental assignment operator, that is plus or equal to sign. Now with the plus or equal to sign, what it does is that it will increase the value with the number that you assign it to. So let's say we already have 5 here. So we are saying that x is equal to 5, right? So when I say x plus equal to 3, I am telling the computer that it is x plus 3. You get it? Or you can write it this way. X is equal to x plus 3. It will practically give you the same answer. So this one will give us 8 because I'm saying that x is 5. So if x is 5, then 5 plus 3 giving me what? 8. You see? So x giving me 8. So that is how the addition incremental works. Or you can say x plus equal to 2. So 8 plus 2 giving us what? 10. That is how it works. Now we have the next one, that is the decremental, negative and then equal to sign. So this one will actually do what? Subtract it. So x minus equal to 2. So I'm saying x is 10, right? So 10 minus 2 is what? 8. You see? And I can also say x is equal to x minus 3, giving me the initial one, 5. You see, that is how it works, and that is how it will also work for the multiplication. I can see x is equal to x multiplying 3. So 5, x is 5. So 5 times 3 is what? 15. And then I can say x multiplied equal to 2. So 15 times 2 is what? 30. You see, so you can choose to expand it or do what? Combine the operators. So you can use the same thing for the division. You see, it gave me what? 15.0. You see, yes. So that is how it also works. You can do the same thing for the modulo. Giving you 1.0. You see, so it is saying 2 times 7 is 14. Then 15 minus 14 is what? 1. Yes, because modulo we consider only the remainders. Using the same thing for the exponential. So let's say we have x exponential equated to 3. Given the answer, it will give us 1, because 1 times 1 times 1 is what? Still 1. You see, and we can also use the same thing for the floor division. So let's increase it first. So x plus equal to 9, giving us 10. Then x with the floor division equal to 2, giving us 5.0. So that is how the assignment operator also works in Python. Now let's talk about comparison operators. Now with comparison operators, they are used to compare values. For example, we have this one, equal to. Yes, in Python, when you see double equal sign, that means it is equal to. But a single equal sign means you are assigning a value to a variable. So that is the difference. With this one, it is called not equal to. This one is greater than. And then you have greater or equal. Then you have the less than or equal to sign. Very good. Now with the equal sign, let's see, x is equal to 9, and then y is equal to 4, and I see x is equal to y. It will print what? False, because 9 is greater than 4. So x is not equal to what? Y. Do you get it? But when we see x not equal to y, it will print what? True. Yes, because 9 is not equal to 4. 9 is greater than 4. You see? Yes. That is how the equal to and then not equal to works. Let's talk about the greater than. I have x to be 9 and then y to be 4. So if I say x is greater than y, it also prints true, because 9 is greater than 4. I can also do the same thing here. 9 greater than 4 using the raw values. It also print what? True. Do we get it? Yes. So that is how it also works here. And then let's talk about the greater or equal. Now this one will actually check the range if the figure is what? Greater or equal to the other figure. You see, so when you see 9 is greater or equal to 4, it will print true because 9 is actually greater than 4. You see, let's say 9 greater or equal to 9. It will print true is because 9 is equal to 9, not greater than 9. So that is how this one also works. Now talking about the less than, so 9 less than 4 will print what? False, because 9 is less than 4. And then when we say 9 is less or equal to 4, it will print false again. Why? Because 9 is not equal to 4 nor lesser than 4. So that is how the comparison operator tool works. Now moving on, let's talk about logical operators. Now we have AND, or not. Now the AND logical operator check if both conditions are true, and then OR check if one of the conditions is true. So the AND will actually tell you it is true when both of them are logically correct. For example, I have 3 greater than 2 and then 4 greater than 3. It will print true because both are correct. So what if one is not correct? So 3 greater than 2 again, and then 4 greater than 6. It will print false because 4 is not greater than 6. So that is how the AND logical operator works. It will check if both conditions are correct, and if one of the conditions is not correct, it will print false. But with the opposite, or will check this one if one of the condition is true. If it is true, it will print true. If it is logically correct, it will print true. So with the OR, it will check if at least one of the condition is true. So let's say, using the latest one, 3 greater than 2 or 4 greater than 6, it will print true because one of the condition, that is 3 greater than 2, is logically correct. As we said, it will only check if at least one of the condition is true. So 3 greater than 5 and 6 lesser than 90. It will print, sorry, I used AND again, I should have used OR. 6 lesser than 90. It will print true because one condition, that is 6 is lesser than 90, is correct, but 3 is no greater than 5. You see, that is how this one also works. So it will check if at least one. So let's say if both conditions are not true, so 3 is greater than 5 and 6 is also greater than 90, it will print false because both conditions are what? Wrong. So that is how the OR works. And then we said not, that is the opposite. So let's say we have 3 is greater than 2, which is practically true for us in a logical sense. But when we say not 3 greater than 2, it will be false because you are saying it is the opposite. It is not. You are trying to tell the computer that 3 is not greater than 2. So it will print what? False. So not 6 lesser than 7. It will print what? False. But let's see, not 6 greater than 7. It will print true. So that is directly the opposite. You see, in here 6 is less than 7. In a logical sense, it should be true, but we said not, so it will print what? False. And in this case, 6 is not greater than 7. You see, but he said not, so it is what? True here. So you can try your hands on that. So that is how the AND or not logical operator works. So this one would return false if the result is true, and then return true if the result is false. So that is how it works. Moving on, let's talk about identity operators. Now, there are two identity operators in Python: is and then is not. Now, is and then is not. Is works in a different way, and then is not also works in a different way. Now, with the is, it will return true if both variables have the same object, and then is not will return true if they are not having the same object. So let's say x is equal to 8, and then y is also equal to 8. When I say x is y, it will print true because x and y has the same values assigned to them. You see, so that is how it works. So when I say, let's say g is equal to 6, and I say x is g, it will say false because g is having 6 while x is having 8. So x is not g. So when I say x is not g, it will print what? True, because they are having different values. You see, when I say y is not g, it will also say true because y is 8 and then g is 6, so y is not also g. You see, so let's say x is y and y is not g. You see, it gave me true because x is actually y, which is 8, and then y is not g because y is 8 and then g is what? 6. So that is how this one also works. So you see, we combined the logical operator with the identity operator. You see how Python is beautiful? Yes. So you can try and then use that in your arithmetic or any kind of implementation that you want to use with. So this is how identity operators work. So let's talk about a membership operator. Now we have two membership operators in Python, the not and then the not in. Now the in and then the not in, sorry, it should be in, yes, in and then the not in. This is how it works. You see, it will actually check if there is an item in a list that you specified, or the item is not in the list that you specified. So let's say we have A is equal to a list of items that is, let's say 1, 2, 3. Then we have A, B, C. So you see, this is a list of items, right? So when I print A, it should give me the list. Very good. Now let's say I'm trying to check if B is in the list. You see, so I'll say B in A. You see, it printed true. Yes, because B is in what? A. You get it? Or let's say 1 in A. it gave me true because in the list there is 1. You see, because I have assigned all the list to a variable a. So if I say I'm checking if 1 is in a, it will print true because 1 is in a. And then let's say 7 in a, it will print what? False, because in the list 7 is not in a. You see, so this one actually printed false because 7 is not in a, because I tried to say 7 in a, but if I say 7 not in a, it will print true because it is true that 7 not in a. So that is how you can use not in and then in. I can say b is equal to technology, a string. Then I say o, a string, o in b. It will print true because o is in b. But if I say x not in, a string, x not in b, it will print true because x is not in the word technology. So that is how membership operators work. Thanks for watching.